G'day everyone, T-Nick back here again in OpenTTD with the Swedish Rails set. Welcome to 1934. Happy New Year, etc, etc. Hope you had a good Christmas and you had a good break and you're ready to get into it. What do you mean it's the middle of the year? Well, the game says it's not. No, never mind. So you might notice I'm exceptionally well zoomed in on a couple of forests. Just to give you a bit of context, I'll very slowly and dramatically zoom out, way more than I needed to, because you can see we have a handy dandy sawmill down here. So I thought, what better way to showcase another part of this graphic set and also make a bit more cash than hooking up these forests, wording is good, with this sawmill down here, and then sending the goods over into town that we've developed up here, or even just down here to this town, because I'm pretty sure you'd accept goods as well. And then I want to connect these guys into the main network as well. But obviously, first things first, we need to start moving some wood. One curious oddity I noted was that the only wagon with a speed limit, 45 k's an hour, is the open wagon. The wood wagon and the goods wagon, which has disappeared, no, it's moved down here, has no speed limit. So yes, this should make us some good cash, unlike coal, which appears to want to limit us. So for this one, we probably won't go electrified, just because we're not going to be facing many great big hills, and the one hill we do encounter will be all downhill, so that's going to make life a bit easier. So we'll go ahead and drop in a nice wood loading station here, obviously with a couple of buffer stops, just for reasons. And then we'll just run a nice straight bit of track. In fact, we're probably going to be able to get a perfectly straight bit of track down here to our unloading station, which will be occurring in this region. I say occurring, what I actually meant to say was being built. So we'll go ahead and drop down a one-track station there for unloading for now, and we'll expand it when we're ready to load the goods. So obviously I want to put in another set of points there and a couple of signals just to stop anyone having an argy-bargy, and then we'll keep this track going down here and whack in, put a depot in there. That's probably not where you needed to put it, but you've gone ahead and done it anyway. Congratulations, you idiot. So we'll just extend this bit of track up here, and we'll put a bit of a passing loop in just in case both trains want to unload at the same time. In fact, it's probably chicken feed to just double track the whole thing. We may as well just do that. I mean, it's going to cost us very little to do, and it's going to cost us even less to put down extra track we don't need and then get rid of it again. So yeah, we'll go ahead and double track the station as well. We'll add an extra track for when we want to start loading the good stuff, or the goods in stuff form, because that's a description that's been used, and people will rejoice at it. So whack in the usual obligatory signals for the line, and let's go ahead and go train shopping. Train shopping. So obviously we've got the two steam engines available, the R and the SB. Probably going to go the R just because 90 k's an hour is pretty good. He's not tackling any major hills. Don't you dare decrease coal production, you gibbon. I don't see the need to spend almost twice as much. Wait, no, maths, no. Another third as much. An increased amount of money on the R. However, we might decide to deploy the R for the slightly longer route down to Bowden, because obviously that's quite a short hop, to make sure the goods get delivered into town nice and quickly. So go ahead and buy me one of those fellas, and yeah, we'll throw on some wood wagons there and make sure they're refitted for wood, which they are. Humdinger. So yes, you can go from there to there, and then we definitely put the depot on the wrong side, so sneak in for a cheeky service if you please. In fact, don't do that. We're going to get you a better depot. We're going to fix it. We've gone done stuffed up. I can't do that. There's a train in the depot. It's all going wrong. Can we start again? No, we've already built stuff, so let's just run with it. Okay. So put a bit of track in there. Put a fresh depot in there, like fresh Prince Bel Air style, and make him service there instead. And then we'll get rid of our dirty little secret down here and pretend it never existed. So I actually want two of those, just to make it. Isn't there a clone train button in the depot? There is not. We'll have to do it over here. Well, when we don't have the money for it. So well done us. Now we do. Off you go, fellas. Go forth and make us some coin, because God knows we need it at the moment. Yes, yes. Yes, get out there. Are you already carrying wood, or is that just the wooden floor of the wagon? I think it's just the wooden floor of the wagon. No, it changes colour when he goes up. It's okay. So, humour me. That's definitely brown, right? Yes, definitely brown. Definitely brown. Definitely brown. Definitely brown. Definitely brown. And now it's red. Now it's red, and it's brown again. Maybe they've got like little tarpaulin sides to stop the logs falling off. I'm not 100% sure. But yes, good work, fellas. Go forth and get us some money. And I will just use this time to remove this shameful depot that we built here. Just bye-bye. Not enough cash to knock down the ruddy depot. Well, that's a new low point for us, isn't it? Less sigh. So, of course, we need to whack in another siding here for the loading of goods trains. Obviously, it doesn't matter which actual track they use. I just like to keep it looking interesting. And we'll go ahead and whack a buffer stop down on that one. So hopefully he chooses that by default. Excuse me. Got a bit of a throat in my frog. And we'll throw down some signals there. So, I mean, in theory, he can use any of the 3 tracks as he comes in. But I'm hoping he picks this one just because he'll somehow detect that it doesn't go anywhere. I realise I'm expecting my train to read minds, and that's probably a lot to ask. Now, do we want to go to Bowden? I'm pretty sure they'll accept goods down here. They do have a bank, so that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, you'll accept goods down here. How about Luila? You'll accept goods. Okay, what are we feeling over at Haparanda? You accept goods, but not... Oh, no, you do accept it at your main station. And Tornea, you'd obviously accept goods there as well. So... Look, if we want to run it down around here, we can swing by this farm and this factory, although we've just established that the farm only produces grain, and grain is very slow to move, so we won't do that. Unless we swung down here and connected the farm up to this factory, that's a thought, because then the grain train's not going to interfere, and we can bring the goods over to Tornea, so that's an option that we could exercise. We also have a lot of oil refineries here. Do we have any oil wells? No, of course, it's a bit early in the game for them. But yeah, we'll eventually get oil wells down here, so we could, in theory, transport the oil up to this thing and transport the goods into town as well. So, you know, we have some options. Now, how would we go about a goods station here? That wouldn't be too hard, actually. Question is getting past this whole schmozzle here. And furthermore, how are we going to connect passengers up down here? I was thinking maybe we have the line come up here and under the coal line. That might work. But yeah, we have to factor that in when building a goods station for Tornea. Another option would just be to build one big station over here and just run it around the outside. So how's that going to look? You would be quite happy with that, and I would be quite happy to let you be happy with that. So everyone is happy, and everything is wonderful. So no, where was it? It was under stations, yes, okay. So we need a nice little goods unloading station. Freight station, that seems like a good... goods unloading station. Let's drop one of them down. You put the wrong buffers down, so correct them as well before anyone notices and comments. Yeah, I'm ahead of you people. And then we'll go ahead and run a nice little bit of double track around here. And of course that's going to get right in the way of where we wanted to go. Well done, team. Okay, so thinking about it, we could probably kick it further over here and just go under all 4 tracks at once. Why don't we do that instead? That seems doable. And just pray we have the money for this too, because you didn't think this through at all. Which is not unusual. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to break with the theme of not thinking things through, because that's what you're all here for. No? Yes? I don't know. But so, you know, we'll bumble through together as we are wont to do. So, why don't we go ahead and have a bit of a tunnel in here, so that we can drop underneath. That's a nice tunnel. That's probably why I built a tunnel. Bridges, not as attractive as a good tunnel. How's this going to go for bridging? Oh, that's nice and simple. Cantilever or truss? I get the feeling a truss is going to be quite ugly over a double height thing, so let's go cantilever. Oh, that is a very attractive bridge. I mean, it doesn't line up with our station in the slightest, but it's a very attractive bridge, and I'm keeping it. I'm making this station work with that nice looking bridge. There we go, with only a minor detour required. So I think that's pretty good. Don't put one-way signals in. No one will be able to come to the station to unload. You silly Billy. And yeah, we'll pop up the other side here. And it should be... No, don't put track there. What possible use are you going to have for track there? So we can run a nice straight bit of track down here, straight past the farm. We haven't overshot yet, thank God. And of course, this bit of track we can link into that factory over yonder that I gestured at earlier to help transport the farm goods. I do all like having everything interconnected. I realize this is at the start of a separate network. Hopefully it will join up to the main network at some point if we find some more forests to bring down to this sawmill. Because, yeah, I like having everything connected so we can send redundant locos to depots and reuse them and Don't you dare say wood production is dropping. Well, that's a different forest, so I don't really care. But if I come to it later, I'll care. So, yeah, you watch your game. Okay, so good. That's a single track line, so that should be enough for one goods train. And this thing is already pumping out the goods en masse. So this time I do want the R, which costs a small fortune. Good work, team. So we'll just borrow a bit of cash here, and we'll build a nice long goods train. So we only have to have the 5 tiles. That should be plenty. And load up with goods, please. Yes, fantastic. 120 tons or crates or tons of crates or crates of tons. Send it down to Tornea North for unloads. And you know what? Just in case you want to go to the bathroom before you leave after you finish loading, I'll put a service tag in there as well. Just in case, you know. I mean, I've been on the loco a while watching them load the crates of goods on. And this is our first look at the R, which is already having some sort of haulage issue with the first wagon on the train. So either that's a really long coupler or it's just, you know, a really long, really strong bit of chain. And they're like, you know what, this will do. We've broke the coupler. No one needs to know. Why do you not have any cargo on board? Is it because we just missed this thing producing goods? That's okay. We've got another wood train coming in now. Hello. Maybe the wagons were coming out graphically already loaded. Let's just detail look at it. Oh, no, hang on. No, they have unloaded now. I just thought it looked a bit red. But that's fine because you're making some good money. And now you have 41% of your goods. So that means it's going to take, what, 1, 2... Oh, it's going to take 2.5 trains from the forest. And the forest is going great guns. So we should probably borrow a bit of money and get another train there. But yes, that's good. Okay, so 2.5 trains. Not as ideal as 2 trains or 3 trains. But I can live with it. Ooh, a new bank. Is that anywhere relevant? It actually kind of is. Obviously, we've got a bank here. Do we have a bank down here yet? I can't see one. But we also have a bank down here. Valuables. So I'm wondering if it's not worth putting a passenger line in from A to B to C and then, you know, transporting passengers that way and then extending it down into our existing network down here, possibly alongside the freight line. Maybe not with it, although that said, you can do 100 Ks now, can't you? Yeah, okay. No, I'm seeing a thing here. What are we looking at in terms of hills? Would we want to electrify this? We probably would. In fact, we'd probably want to go by a Jockmock, which sounds like a Pokemon. Jockmock, I choose you! Pachaw! Jockmock, use Thunderbolt! Pachaw! No? Culturally insensitive? Me? Never. We can pay the loan down a bit. Let's do that. That's a distraction. Now we don't have any money. Now we're in the red. Good work. But yeah, there might be a line there. Following the river via Jockmock and Malberger, sounds like a cheese, and Galaver, which sounds like another Pokemon, up to Karuna, which sounds like a small Pacific Island nation. And we have another bank at Skeleton Key, Skelfty, which is just down the road from Bowden. So I'm seeing a nice, important passenger line that also transport valuables. So we should probably get started on that at this point. Probably a good thing we didn't decide to send the goods down here because it might actually make Bowden some sort of focal point. Stupid. But before we go ahead and start on that massive endeavour, because that's going to cost a lot of money, I would like to do something with this grain down to this factory and then potentially run another goods train up here to the town, because it's like, well, we've got the railway line, why wouldn't we? So we'll go ahead and, because it's a farm, I like to have my station look a bit more rural. So I'll go ahead and whack a buffer stop in there, and we'll pick a nice freight station. We don't have a grain unloading station up here, do we? No, nothing of the sort. So we'll go, no, that's oil. You don't load grain at an oil station. So we'll go ahead and run a nice little grain station here, and bring the track up like this, and like that. And we probably should put a loop in here as well, just because we're going to have a number of trains using this section, and that's a thing we want. So the junction we can put up here just before the hill, so we may as well double track it down to, you didn't connect it up, down to the corner at least. So drop in the signals like that. Hopefully the grain train won't slow the goods trains down too much. In fact, I'll put another loop here, even though it is expensive to build over farmland. I'll just extend the loop in case the goods trains want to pass here, so if they do get held up by the grain train, it's not as bad as it could be. We'll go ahead and whack down another couple of signals in the middle here. Oh, I whacked down one too many. Two too many. Get rid of them. Don't want them. not having a bar of it. And I want to keep that nice little grassy tile there, so I'll go ahead and put a junction in there instead. These are the things that motivate me. So run that track down there, and we'll drop a nice unloading platform in, and obviously we'll need one to load the goods up. And we'll put down a proper buffer stop this time, I promise. And oh, hang on, we've got a new thing. It's a tram. I don't really care. I'll pick it up later. I'm sure it's important to people who ride the tram in my town, but for now they can just stick with the tram they've got. You know what I say, a tram in the hand is worth two in the depot. I think that's a saying, and if it isn't, it should be, because it sounds optimistic, and I'm all about the optimism. Unless my bank account's being drained by loss-making goods trains. Oh no, he's disappeared, and we have a lot of goods waiting for him to come back. So maybe we're not going to... Oh, he made a big chunk of change. Oh, I take back everything I said about you, my friend. And we might buy you a friend. So you'll be my friend, and you'll have a friend that's also not me. So, therefore, friendship is the lesson to take away from today. And while I was bumbling through that, I decided to double track this section here, just because if we're going to be putting on multiple goods trains, we might as well have double track sections of track, because track. Why did I put that in there? I'm just going to double track up the hill as well. Yes, don't need that set of points in there. Again, we're going to have a little passing loop here. In fact, it's probably going to be reasonably cheap to just do that. Just glue it in. It'll be fine. And drop in a set of points there. So, yes, I realise it's probably overkill to build all this double track, but it's like, well, the land is so flat and easy to build on. Thank you, Sweden. I never really thought of Sweden as a flat and easy to build on country. Maybe this is just what realistic landscape looks like in this game, and I'm so used to the random number generator maps that I've forgotten what an actual landscape could look like. But no, you've done it again. You've transformed that into something you didn't want to. No, just there you go. That's what you need. And you put too many signals down. Congratulations. So that should be fine. You, my friend, are on track to make a very healthy profit, because you're going to get a full load as soon as you arrive, and you're going to turn around and go back. And I'm not even going to titter at the term full load, because it sounds funny. So get a second one of them going immediately, because what's your capacity? 121 crates of goods. Fantastic. There is like 400 crates of goods there. Exactly 422. One advantage to having the buffer stop here too is that, yes, you know, there's always a platform available for these guys to come in and load at, even if by some miracle we have two lumber trains there. Probably wouldn't be a bad strategy and actually put a buffer stop on this track though. So again, there's always an unloading station available for the log trains, and it's not being taken up by a goods train in case we do accidentally send 3 goods trains in there to load. So that's a thing I'm going to go ahead and do. In fact, I'm going to put down the nice grassy buffer stop there to make it look a bit more interesting. So that way, yes, even if we've got 3 goods trains trying to load here, one of them will be hanging back at this signal, and the other 2 will occupy these platforms, and then we'll have an always vacant platform available for a log train to come in and use for unloading. So, you know, good strategy, good plan. Way too much wood there. Buy another train. Everything is fine. Just extend the loan. It's great. It's awesome. You know, having too much freight is way better than not having enough. Why did we start with coal? Should have started with this. This is just fantastic. Also feeling pretty good about the double tracking at this stage, because, you know, we're clearly using it to its full potential, and you've gone tear-assing down the main line to drop off another load of goods. Very proud of you. Where's your offsider gone? He's ahead of you. That's right. He's tear-assing down here. Yes, good for you. So we'll go ahead and set up this next route here, and then probably double track all the way into town, because why not? It's flat and cheap and easy, which is the title of my sex tape, by the way. So what do we need now? We need a depot here, and we need... well, there's no point spending a lot of money on the grain train, because it's just going to be really slow. I can't put grain in bags in here, can I? I can put livestock. No, it's just rubbish at livestock. So there's no point building the R and paying the money for it. So we'll build the SB, and we'll go ahead and whack on, just that many wagons, because yes, this thing is going to be a pain in the bum. It's going to be nice and slow, and it's just going to get in the way. But it's a necessary evil in as far as grain is evil. Also, we never built a depot down here, so he has nowhere to service. So do that thing. There we go. Yes, good. Service there, please. Did we load you up with grain, or did we just send you out into the world? I think we loaded you up with grain. Oh, they're grey wagons again. Okay, I thought maybe they'd be a different colour. That's okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I want to see the brown ones, but maybe they're the iron ore wagons. What's it default to? Iron ore. Yeah, that's why. Okay, cool, cool, cool. New sawmill. I don't need a new sawmill. I've got a perfectly good sawmill. So I'm going to keep using the perfectly good sawmill that which I have, because that's the thing I have. Now you can come out now. Don't be shy. There you go. Let's have a look at our new grain train. Fish out of water style. He's going through the sawmill because I didn't build a depot closer to home. So stupid me. And for this goods train, because this factory will not have a massive, really won't have anything, will it? There's literally no other farms in the area. I mean, we might get steel eventually, but there's a farm down here, which is pretty average. Okay, cool. Yeah, we may as well just go ahead with an SB for this one as well, because it's only 10 k's an hour slower, and it's significantly cheaper. So yeah, let's do that thing. Yeah, probably building it at the wrong depot. Probably should just sell that and build it at the right depot, because yeah, I'm not an idiot. Well, I am, but you know, not about this. So go ahead and whack down some goods wagons. That'll do. Refit for goods, please. And if you, sir, could full load there, have a cheeky service there if you need to. Just stop for a whiz. Bring the goods down to town. And then just have a cheeky swing by that depot as well, please. Excellent. And already we've reached conflict because this bloke couldn't go back until the other guy came in to unload. Look at all that beautiful money they're bringing in. Oh, 850 grand. Yeah. Pay a bit of that down and we'll save the rest for a solid double tracking. Because, again, as I said, it is ridiculously easy to double track across this flat landscape. So we may as well make that thing happen. Connect it up with a nice shiny bridge, which is probably going to cost a mint because of the curves in the landscape. We can build a tied arch. No, build another... Okay, that costs too much money. Build another cantilever, please. They look really spiffy. Oh, it's a different style too. Oh, I love it. That's how I like things to be. Buggy uniformity. I want variety. Yeah, see, now you're going to have to wait until we get this double track connected up. And now that we have, we can go ahead and throw down some signals. And you'll be able to just, you know, do that thing. We can't put signals on the other line until he gets out of the way, and that's fine. We will start by putting one down here, though, because, you know, reasons. So once he gets onto the correct track, we can signal the other line and just take stock of our circumstances, which I think have gotten significantly better since we last looked at this. So we've got a few more signals to drop down there, 2 to be specific. And we'll go ahead and drop some down the other way. We didn't want one at the junction, but that's okay. We wanted them everywhere else. So they come down here nicely through the tunnel and up and around to the freight station. Now that is exactly how we want to start making some money. So you, my friend, are going to come down here and load some grain, right? Yes, good. 90 tonne of grain. That's not too bad. That should give him a good turnover. And how are we doing for goods production up here, given a train is just coming in? Still way too much. Okay, what a shame. We'll have to buy another one of those. Wow, that's a lot of money. Okay, that's fine. They're making a lot of money. I mean, you, my friend, have done one trip and made 250 krona. So that's incredible. And that's returning to base too. So don't go there. Oh, what would you do that for, you silly Billy? Well, that's okay. He'll just go in, turn around in the depot, and then head on his way. But yes, that's going to slow things down a bit. Or you're going to do that. Okay, well, let's just turn that setting off because that is a stupid thing to have. Settings. Let's see, vehicles. No, routing, don't click on the wrong thing. So we want to forbid trains and ships from 90-degree turns because that is just stupid and we hate it. Pathfinder for ships, why is that on normal? That's fine. Good. Okay, by the way, do we have trains reversing at signals too? Yes, get rid of that. That's obviously my settings have been overridden by the ones the scenario came with, which is kind of annoying because I hate trains reversing at signals because they just get into mischief. Oh, good. Got a bit of money in there. We can pay the bank down. So how are you doing? You still got nothing. Probably launched you a bit prematurely because... Oh, look at that. Put little tarps on the wagons. Oh, that is some nice graphics. You know, a little bit of grain in there or baby food. I can't tell. And then a little tarp goes over the top. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, big fan of that. And you, my friend, are off on your first journey to deliver some goods. So I'm very happy with you there as well. Good, and you're picking up some more goods. There's still enough for you to pick up, even though you are the 3rd train in the cycle. Yes, and you're even leaving goods behind. What did we decide you were carrying? 121 crates. So we could probably go ahead and build yet another goods train for this line because we are just pumping the wood down that fast. And we can probably get away with another wood train too. I mean, obviously that has come down a bit, What are you? 72%, 71% transported. Yeah, I reckon if we chuck another log train on, we'll encourage the forests to produce more wood. And by encourage, I mean we'll send the mafia around to shoot their kneecaps out. That's probably a very violent image we could have done without, but it's been dealt with. So, we will encourage, inverted commas, the forest to produce more wood. And nope, still can't afford another one of them, so that's fine, because these guys are just a license to print money. Just give me the damn train. There you go. And we built it at the right depot this time, so even though he has to make an empty run, he won't end up in this platform and end up completely confused. Yes, see, we've already started increasing production at the rubbish forest. It's not a forest of rubbish, it's just not as good as the other one. So that, my friends, is a win. Why didn't we do something with this factory? That's a lot more convenient to the main line, because then you would have had the grain train slowing everything down. That's why. Try and pay attention. You're very bad at this. So I think that's going to do us for today. I think we've just built some sort of money printing factory here that looks like a sawmill, because I think coal was probably the wrong place to start. We really just should have started with timber and goods. And yes, that grain train is going to hold everyone up, isn't it? God, please give us some faster grain wagons soon. I've got a little list of when all the locos and rail cars get invented, but I forgot to write down when the new wagons come into being. So, yeah, your guess is as good as mine on that one. I suppose I could look it up online. Oh, now the other forest has increased production as well. Oh, that's how it... You did not increase. You just say you did. Don't you lie to me. I will find out, and I will come to your house and... Well, I've already sent the mafia after this forest. There's not much more I can do. But, we'll just produce more wood, so we produce more goods, so we produce more money, and thus can build more trains, because that's the whole point of the game. It's like a tycoon game in which you do a lot of transporting in a deluxe fashion. I've been T-Nick. This has been Open TTD with the Swedish Rails set. Hopefully we will have a lot more money, or at least a lot more of the loan paid down next time you come a-visiting. Hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Later days.